and welcome back to Kitchen Table Magic. It's been a while, but we're excited to get started again. Today we're going to play with the guild kits. I'm going to play with Gruul, which is red-green, and my husband is going to play with Orzhov, which is white-black. Come see the magic.
Alright.
Let's roll to see who goes first.
Oh yeah.
It's been so long you forgot even the process. 15! Ooh! I will be going first, because I think I'm an aggressive deck.
Probably. I don't know what type of deck I am.
I know I can't play with only one mana. Something we forgot to mention in the intro is these are like regular 60 card decks, so there's no additional rules. Most of the cards in here, there's not many copies of. There's, I think, only like the lockets or signets or something, or there's multiple copies of.
Yeah.
And then the decks themselves came. Do you want to cut?
Yeah.
Came with dice. I'm using mine. Are you using yours?
Yeah.
So they're colored dice, like in the.
Mostly that one's blue for
Shoot,
some reason.
still only one mana. Wait, oh yeah, because yours is white-black. That is interesting. I'm going to have to burn 2 cards now. So they came with their own dice, they came with those little stickers in our intro, and they came with little pins.
Oh yeah.
Little metal pins. Alright. Want to cut again? No, because you've messed it up plenty already,
Yep.
right? Oh, okay. Shoot. Well,
What, another 1 mana?
no. I'll burn.
Or 2 make a card.
Now, this hand I would have liked to have kept, but I'll get rid of, I guess, these 2. And there's a mountain, and go.
I'm gonna play Orzhov, Guildgate, tapped.
Forest, go.
Tap. Draw. I'm gonna play a swamp. And then I'll play, for a white and black, I will play a Vizikopa Guild Mage. It's a 2/2 for 2. I can play black-white colorless, target creature gains lifelink till end of turn, or black-white colorless, whenever I gain life this turn, each opponent loses that much life. I'll pass. Be done, because I ain't got no mana to do anything else with.
I'm done.
I will untap, draw, and I will play a Orzhov Basilica tapped, and when it does, I have to return a land to my hand. 1 for 2.
And then what was its triggers? Both mana triggers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have no mana for anything now.
This enters the battlefield tapped, and I'm done.
Dang, you must have had some high costed cards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a plain, and then I will tap this for white and black. There's 2, and tap this for my colorless. Play Orzhov Pontiff, who has Haunt. When this creature dies, exile it, haunting target creature. When Orzhov Pontiff enters the battlefield, or the creature it haunts dies, choose 1. Creature you control gets +1/1 until end of turn, and creature you don't control, or creatures you don't control get -1, -1. So when he enters the battlefield, or the creature it haunts dies, choose 1. Well, since there's nothing else on the board, I guess I'm gonna haunt my own Visicopa Guild Mage. And,
You have to choose a haunt right away? I thought it was if you...
Well, and he enters the battlefield, or when it haunts, when this creature dies, it haunts. So he's gonna... So when he enters the battlefield, or the creature it haunts dies, choose one. Choose one. So... when he enters the battlefield, creatures I control are going to get 1/1 until end of turn.
Okay.
So he'll be at 3.
Down to 15. Not looking
And
great for
I'm
me.
haunting this character because... Or no, I get up.
You get to untap him?
Oh no, that's my bad.
Oh, okay. I thought it was part of the trigger.
So I don't haunt until he dies.
Okay, so I'm good though.
Yeah.
I'm good. I did my untap, upkeep, draw.
He had an ETB and a death trigger. He has kind of a weird card.
This one enters the battlefield tapped. And I'm done.
I'm going to play a swamp. And... Damn, that's one mana. That's not... I forgot to tap my guild mage. Well, I'll tap that for... Actually, I'm going to do black. Tap that for 2 colorless. And there's my third to play. Vindictive Vampires, 2/3, and whenever another creature I control dies, Vindictive Vampire deals 1 damage to each opponent, and I gain 1 life. And 1.
14. Alright, untap, upkeep, draw, something. Mana for turn. I can pay 2 red and 4 others. Scargon Firebird. It has Bloodthirst 3, which I couldn't trigger. If an opponent was dealt damage this turn, this creature enters the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it. It's a flying 3/3, and for 3 red, I can return it from my graveyard to my hand. I can only activate that ability if an opponent was dealt damage this turn. So I'm done because it has a lot of text, but it doesn't have haste.
I'll draw. I'll play a swamp. And I'll tap that for black, white, and 1 colorless to play Teysa Orzhov Scion. 2/3, who I can sacrifice 3 white creatures and I get to exile target creature. And whenever another black creature I control dies, I get to create a 1/1 white spirit token with flying. And I'm going to... That's a 3/3. I'll go in with this 1/1.
Can you read the haunt mechanic again?
Whenever this creature dies, it haunts. Exile it, haunting target creature. And then whenever he enters the battlefield, which you already did, or dies, or the creature it haunts dies, I get to choose one of those options.
And the options were...
My creatures I control get +1/1 till end of turn, or creatures I don't control get -1/-1 till end of turn.
So if I block a 1/1 and you haunt him, he gets -1/1 just for this turn?
He's just haunted until that creature dies.
So he'll have a -1/1 on him the whole time?
No. Until he dies, then all the rest of your creatures will get -1/1. So this is like a ghost.
Right.
And it says when haunted creature dies. So if he dies, I target him haunting him. So
all of my creatures
all
will
your
get
creatures will get
-1/1.
when this one dies.
If you haunted me, but you could haunt you and bump all of yours.
Yeah.
So I will let the 1 damage go through. That's why I needed to understand the mechanic before I acted.
Yeah.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Oh, look, a little dude. Where the freak were you the first 5 turns?
And you're dead. Yeah.
You're funny. Alright, I played mana for the turn, and I'm going to do 1 red, 1 green for Cindervines. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, Cindervines deals 1 damage to that player. So, I don't know that you have many non-creature spells, but I'm glad I got it out before you cast one, because that makes me feel better. I can pay 1, sack him, I can destroy target artifact or enchantment, and he deals 2 damage to the permanent's controller. And then...
Good old Cindervines. I like that card. It's really good against blue decks.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
You don't have any flyers, right?
No. They're all ground units.
Oh wait, this is an enchantment, sorry. Might as well go in for 3.
Untap my land, untap this dude, draw. Gonna play a swamp. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna hold on to that. Ooh. I'm gonna play 2 black and 2 others to play. Keening Banshee, who, when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets -2, -2 until end of turn. What do I do here? I think I'll just give you -2, -2 for now.
Okay.
And then I'll go in for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And I'm down to, what is that? 6. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Ah, okay. I scoop because my first mulligan, I had 1 mana and all big creatures. My second mulligan, I had 1 mana and little creatures, but I still wasn't, like, I have learned, finally, not to play with only 1 mana, waiting for the draw. My third mulligan, when I drew, and I knew I was getting rid of 5, or I had to go down to 5 cards, I had 5 mana, or not 5, 4 mana and 3 huge creatures. That Songbird was one of them, and that's the one I kept because it was the lowest. The other 2 were both 7 mana. That one only had 6 mana. So I was like, shoot! I should have, what I should have done, since that, there was one of the other big creatures I could have used other little creatures to pay for. I should have kept him and burned one of the mana, although I didn't draw any of my little creatures though. That's the problem, is like I haven't drawn any of my little guys at all, except the second time. That was rough. That was pure. I didn't get cards to play.
No.
Which is bad because I really want to show this deck because it's some of my favorite colors. I'm just being a big baby, I guess. I don't want to cut yours. Do you want to cut mine?
No.
Okay.
You do good enough on your own.
So who's going first? You can't look at your cards.
You won. You can choose.
I didn't win.
It's best of 3.
I didn't win. I scooped.
I'm going first.
You looked at your cards.
Well, it doesn't help me.
Uh-huh. You're going first.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play a plane to be done.
I get to draw, and I will play green and be done.
I'll draw. Oh, I forgot I won that last game already.
I notice.
Black, white. I'm gonna play Pitiless Pontiff, who's a 2/2. And I can pay once, sacrifice another creature, it gains death touch and indestructible until end of turn. I'll be done.
Okay, I am going to... Oh, interesting. Okay. That's a 2/2.
And I can pay 1 and sacrifice another creature and it gains death touch and indestructible until end of turn.
Okay.
Don't have any creatures out to do that with.
I'm going to play red, and then I'm going to pay 1 red, 1 green for Burning Tree Emissary. And when she enters, I get a red green. And I'm going to put that towards my Gruul Signet, which is pay 1, tap, add red, green.
Gotcha.
I think that was the best way to do that.
Tap that draw. I'm gonna play Orzhov Basilica tap, and I have to return a land to my hand. And
We're both 2/2.
I'll be done.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep, draw. And then I'm going to, before I play mana for the turn, I'm going to tap my green to pay for my Gruul Signet, which gives me red-green. That's floating, so I've got red-green mana floating. And then I'm going to put Gruul Turf in, which enters tapped, and when it enters I have to return target land to my hand. But I have the red-green still floating. So I'm going to play that one, who is Scab Clan Mauler, who has Bloodthirst of 2. If an opponent was dealt damage this turn, he comes in with a 1/1 and he has Trample. But I didn't damage you, so that's gonna be the end.
Okay, untap that. Draw. Play down a small. And then I'm going to do... Man, these cards are really good in my hand right now. I'm going to tap that for black and white, and I'm going to add another black and another white. So 2 black, 2 white to play Basilica Battle Hunt. And when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and I gain 3 life. I think it's a 3/4.
Okay, I'm deciding what I want to discard. I think I'll discard my forest.
And what do I want to do? You got a Burning Tree Emissary. I'm going for 2. You can block me with a Burning Tree Emissary or a Scab Clan Marauder.
I'll take 2. Then you're done.
Yep.
Untap, upkeep, draw. okay. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to tap red to trigger this. So I've got red, green floating, and then I'm going to drop Gruul turf, which says I get to bounce mana. I've got to bounce mana. So I've got red, green floating, and this one gives me my other red, green. And I have Trample, Haste, and Shroud. Giant Soulfuge. So it's a 4/1. Can't be the target of spells or abilities. So, how did you get your life? What?
From him. Gain 3 life and you discard a card.
Okay. I'm gonna hold.
Okay, gonna tap my land, gonna draw a card, gonna play a plains, I'm going with my 3/4.
I'll take 3 down to 15.
And then I'll be done.
Alright, untap, upkeep, draw. I will play mana for the turn. And then I will pay 1 to trigger this, so that's red, green, and these are both red, green, so that's 6 total mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Ravager Worm, who has Riot. This creature enters the battlefield with my choice of 1/1 counter or haste. I'm gonna give it the counter. I'm gonna put he gets a counter on it. And then when he enters the battlefield, I choose 1. He fights target creature I don't control, or I can destroy a land with a activated ability that isn't a mana ability. I'm gonna fight him.
Fight who?
Him. So my 5/6 against your 3/4. Okay. And then
Oh shoot, I should have sacrificed that guy.
oh, instead of letting it get fought. Okay, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold.
Okay, I'll draw. I'll play a black. And then I'm gonna go. Oh man. What am I looking at here?
5/6 with no other things right now.
Can I
Trample,
take a
haste,
turn?
shroud.
Can I really afford to not take a turn off?
Trample, 1/1.
I'm gonna go a black and 2 others to play stab wound on your worm.
Okay.
Enchanted creature gets -2/-2, and at the beginning of The upkeep of that enchanted permanent, you lose what? How much life?
2 life.
2 life.
So let me get my -1/1s out so that we remember.
And I'm done. I can't do anything else.
I love those little -1/1s from Almaket. I use them so much. Okay, so at my upkeep, so untap. At my upkeep, I lose 2 life.
Yeah.
Then I'm on my draw. I'll play Mountain. And then I will go ahead and pay 1 to trigger this. So I've got red, green, and then we'll do this one for 2. And I'm gonna play Savage Twister. Deals X damage to each creature, so I paid my red, green, and then I paid 2 mana. But because that can't be the target of spells or abilities, that one doesn't get hit. This one survives because it's still a 4/4, and I've only done 2 damage. So 2, those miss. These 2 both die, so does yours. And then and then I'll attack. So there's 4 damage getting across there, and these cancel each other out. 3 damage getting across here. So 7 total. I finally hit your dice. I finally, halfway through the second game, and I hit your dice. And then in my second main phase, I'm going to pay a red and a green for Zerta Druid, who's a mana rock, a 1/1 human druid that I can tap, add green. Anytime I tap him for mana, he deals 1 damage to each opponent. But I'm on a bigger clock than you are.
I'm gonna do 2 black and 2, 3, 4 colorless to play Skeletal Vampire. He's a 3/3 flyer, and when he enters the battlefield, I can create 2 bat tokens.
Oh, nice.
And I can pay 3 and 2 black to sacrifice a bat, and I get to create 2 more 1/1 black bat creature tokens with flying. And if I sacrifice a bat, I get to regenerate Skeletal Vampire. I'll be done.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep, I lose 2 life. Draw. This is going to enter the battlefield tapped. I'm going to yours are flyers, right?
Mm-hmm. Flying skeleton and 2 tiny bats.
I'll hold.
What do I got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So many options, I don't know what to play. I'm gonna do tap this for black white. Do 4 others to play Ethereal Absolutions, an enchantment. Creatures I control get +1/1. Creatures your opponents control get -1/1. And then I can pay 2 black or 2 colorless, a black and a white. Exile target creature card from an opponent's graveyard. If it was a creature card.
Oh, he dies. Oh wait, he can't be the spell of targets or abilities. Is that, and is an enchantment considered an ability?
Yeah.
So he dies too.
I get a Creative Spirit if I exile a creature card out of a graveyard, out of your graveyard. We'll fly in for 4.
Down to 7. I don't know if you caught it last time, but this is why I held, is because I forgot to untap everything. Untap, upkeep.
Oh, I was looking at what cards I needed to play.
I'm gonna scoop again, because with that counter, I've only got 2 turns left, and you're gonna fly in and hit me. I am not having great luck. So you won. That was 2 of 3. Do you want to make this a doubleheader? Play again, since I was not an opponent at all. You didn't hardly get to see anything this deck can do. Or do you want to move on and do something else?
We can do another one if you want to. We can play these again if you really want to.
I do. I like my deck. I don't know. I'm not getting good draws.
It happens.
Whoops. Take your enchantment back.
Yeah, give me my stab wound.
I don't like your stab wound. It hurt. The stab wound hurt. Obviously, because...
I know. I was waiting for you to play a big enough creature that I could play it on, because I didn't want to just kill a creature right away.
Right, because it was something you wanted to stick around.
And then I had to destroy monocolored creature.
I rolled an 18.
And you couldn't play any damn monocolored creatures.
It was what?
I had a destroy spell that said destroy monocolored creature, and you didn't have any monocolored creatures. I just sat there with it in my hand. Since the very first.
Alright, so impromptu double header. Because I don't know how to play anyway.
You're gonna touch your card.
I don't want to touch yours. I do not.
Might give you the best of luck.
You did not. And did you hear me say I'm going first?
Yeah.
Why is your life dice over there? Confusing me. No, that thing.
It's always over there.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
We always have it over here because we always have it on the same side.
Oh, I just flung the card out.
I didn't see it.
Whoa. I'm gonna play this.
I'm gonna play 2. So my mana enters the battlefield tapped and enter go.
Gonna draw. I'm gonna play my Guild Gate tapped.
Untap, upkeep, draw. We're gonna play this one, enters the battlefield tapped. I'm gonna tap this for green and play Birds of Paradise. A flying 0/1 that taps to add 1 mana of any color.
I'm gonna play Plains, and I'm gonna tap both of those to play the Orzhov Signet.
My turn?
Yep.
Untap, upkeep, draw. And I will tap for mana, and mana, and mana, and they all are whatever colors, so I don't even need to worry. I've got 3. I've got red, green, and another. It's a 3/4 Burning Tree Shaman. 3/4. Whenever a player activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, Burning Tree Shaman deals 1 damage to that player.
I'm gonna play a Plain. And I'm gonna tap for white to play Martyred Rusalka, and it's a 1/1, and I could pay a white, sacrifice a creature, and target creature can't attack this turn.
Oh, that's a painful trigger though. Yeah?
And then I'm gonna tap this to activate my Orzhov Signet, so I got black, white, and 1 other colorless, to play a Stab Wound on Burning Tree Shaman. And just give him a little poke. And be done with him.
Untap. Upkeep, lose 2 life, because that stab wound is just the most painful card in the whole wide world. Draw. Mana for turn. And then I'm going to pay 1 red, 1 green for Cinderbinds. And then I'm immediately going to pay 1, sack it, destroy target enchantment. And its controller gets 2 damage. Deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. So there, jerk. And then I'll go in for 3.
Okay.
My deck worked a little better this time for me. I got some pieces at the right time. Not much. Enough.
Okay, I'm gonna tap this to activate this. So I got my white and black floating. I'm gonna play this tap to pick this back up. So I got white, black. I'm gonna use black, use the white as a colorless, and these 2 as colorless. So black and 3 colorless for Vindictive Vampire. Whenever another creature I control dies, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and I gain life.
Okay.
And I guess I can go in for 1.
You can. My turn?
Yep.
Untap. Oh, I don't have to have my upkeep. Reminder. Oops. I just threw my -1/1s on the ground. Draw. Mana for turn. And then
Gotta get 1 card. 3.
That's a 2/3?
Yep.
3/4. And then in my second main phase, I'm going to pay 1 red, 1 green for Scab Clan Mauler, who has Bloodthirst 2. If an opponent was dealt damage this turn, this creature enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it. Thank you for letting me get him triggered correctly. And then, might not be done.
Might not be done with 3 mana. You can play a 3 mana card.
I'm gonna hold. I think that was a pretty good turn. That's how you're supposed to trigger him. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not just let him drop because you had to.
Okay, I'm gonna play a plains. I'm gonna do okay, so I'm gonna tap this plains to activate this. So I got black and white and another black and white. So there's 4 mana. And then I'm gonna tap these 2. So I need 4 colorless. So there's 1, 2, 3. I'll use these 2 white as colorless and use these 2 black for my black. So 2 black and 4 colorless.
Wait. So your white
So
paid for the signet.
Yes, so this white paid for the signet, which gives me
White
black white. And then this one gives me my white black. I'm gonna use these 2 white as colorless.
With those 2.
Yes.
And then, so it's
Those
2
two.
black and 4 colorless,
Yes.
whatever you're casting. Wow, I don't like
To
that.
play Pontiff of Blight, who's a 2/7 with Extort.
The heck is this?
Whenever I cast a spell, I may play a black or a white. If I do, each opponent loses 1 life, and I gain that much life. And then he gives all other creatures Extort.
I don't like Extort. FYI. So it's whenever...
So whenever I cast a spell, I can play a white and a black, and it will trigger... I have to play a white and black for every creature. So
White or black. That's the...
white or black.
It's the joint. Okay. Well, you jerk. You just do what you think you need to.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Whoops. You didn't see my cards that I just flipped over to you. Alright, untap. Upkeep, draw. And then I can play red, green, 2 others for Ulasht the Hate Seed. Now, this was one of the cards that I burned last time because I didn't know how to figure how it comes in. It enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each other red creature I control, and a 1/1 counter on it for each other green creature I control. So these ones that are both...
That counts as a red
and
a green.
So this is a red with a 1/1, so it counts there. And then each other green, so there's 1, 2, 3 green. So, 4
1
1
1 2. You get more than that. You get 1 2.
No. It says I get a 1/1 for each red creature I control.
So yeah, so you get a 1/1 for this red creature and a 1/1 for this red creature. So there's 2.
Oh, I thought...
Then you get a 1/1 for this green
2,
creature.
3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Oh.
Because they count as red and green.
I thought, when I read the text, I thought it said the red creatures had to have a 1/1 on them.
Does it?
No, it doesn't. It says I get a 1/1 for them. It says, enters the battlefield with 1/1 counter on it for each other red creature you control.
Yeah.
And each other green creature you control. So I get a 5. It's a 5/5. Holy crap! I can pay 1, remove a 1/1 from him, and choose 1. He deals 1 damage to target creature, or I can create a sapperling token. So I can go wide, or I can pick off some of your people. So I think actually I might do that. I'm gonna pay 1 here, remove a counter, and I'm gonna pick off. That deals 1 damage to target creature. Oh, this would be a great one for the dinosaur's new trigger.
You lose a life, I gain a life.
Why?
Because from him every target creature dies.
Yeah, I lost my life. I'm down to 16. Okay, so he has summoning sickness. And that's a 2/7?
Yep.
And that's a 2/3? We'll go in with both of these guys.
Six. Alright. Are you done, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play a swamp. And I will tap this for black and white to play Orzhov Charm, and I will destroy target creature. So I'll destroy that, and I lose life equal to its toughness of 4. But now I'm going to pay a black and a white to do the extort from him.
So what does that say again? I'm sorry.
Anytime I cast a spell, I can pay a black or white and
black
extort.
or white. You only get to pay it once.
But
you're paying
every
for
other
each
creature.
So it does an exchange of 2?
Yep.
Okay, now hold on. Before you touch your life dice, my dice says whenever a player activates an ability that isn't a mana ability.
Yeah, but it's a mana ability because I'm paying the black and white for it.
See, this is where I'm so confused because I thought this was considered a mana ability where I tap and I add mana.
That's just a tap ability. That's a triggered ability. A mana ability is anything you have to pay mana to do.
To activate.
So I have to pay mana to activate the extort mechanic.
So what's that thing? Whenever another creature dies, would that have been triggered by him?
When another player activates, no, because that's a triggered ability. Something has to happen for it to trigger it. What an
What the hell? Like, none of my cards ever do shit to you. I don't understand.
An activated ability for me, on my side that's not a mana ability, is something that lets me tap it, that doesn't make me pay mana to do something.
No, because you said before that that's considered you just said that's a tap ability for mine.
That is the type of ability that would hurt me. I have to tap it to activate, to do this. Okay.
But you called that a tap ability.
Because you're tapping your creature.
So that's an activated ability.
Yes, because you got to tap it to activate what it does. It activates a mana. This
what's this one considered?
That's a triggered ability. Something has to happen to trigger this line of text.
Okay.
I don't activate it. It's just always there. It gets triggered when a creature dies. It triggers. It sets it off.
All right, so we're exchanging 2 life. We're exchanging 2 life.
Now,
just do your life. I think I understand. I'm sorry. I know you explain it to me every damn time, but none of my creatures ever seem to do shit to you, so it gets frustrating because I don't know when to trigger it. Like, I don't know what activates what. I'm getting frustrated because all the text on my card is always, no, that doesn't affect me. Like, every single time I say something happens, and you're like, no, it doesn't.
No, because this instance, I got mana abilities. Usually I don't play mana ability cards.
All right.
And you're always...
Well, are you done then? Or are you going to attack in?
No, I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. You think I can attack, but I only got 5 life?
So were you done with your turn?
What do I got? 2 mana left? I need another blocker. A 1/2 death touch. And when he dies, he turns into a spirit.
Alright, now you're done. Untap, upkeep, draw.
Or, this is a good example of an activated, is that?
No, because you have to pay mana to do it.
You have to pay mana.
So that's considered a mana ability. Alright. So if you pay mana for something, it's a mana ability.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you, like, because you've called this a mana ability in the past before, where it taps and creates mana. You called it mana ability.
Well, that's not a mana ability.
All right.
Because you're not paying mana. That's an activated ability. You're tapping
You're doing
to activate.
something
Yes.
to make it work.
Yes.
Okay, so the 3 ways I understand it is mana, you have to pay mana to make it do something.
Yes.
Activated means you have to do something to get it to go off. Triggered means something else has to happen for it to happen.
Yeah.
So there's 3. There's mana, activated, and triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm there. And I've done my untap, upkeep, and my draw, because I got a new card. So let me read my new card since I'm done processing. I'm sorry, brain. I'm not intentionally being a jerk. I just don't understand why my cards never do anything to you.
You always got the wrong card at the wrong time.
1 red, 1 green, 2nd green, and 1 other. A 5/5 creature elemental called Rumbling Slum. At the beginning of my upkeep, it deals 1 damage to each player. So I'm gonna put my mana or my upkeep reminder on. And then, so you have a 2/3, 2/7, and 3/2 death touch.
That's a 1/2 death touch.
1/2 death touch. Okay.
And then he turns into a flying spirit if he dies.
So death touch is not an ability because it doesn't do anything. It's
an evergreen ability.
Yeah, it's a, what are they called though? It's
static.
Static, yeah. Okay, because there's that too.
Yeah.
Okay, I see why I never tried to explain this game to my mom. Okay.
So like, the best example for that is the witch's oven. If I had a witch's oven out, every time I activate that thing by tapping it, that thing would hurt me every time. Because you don't pay mana to activate that witch's oven.
And next door, you have to pay each time
Every time
you
I
cast a spell.
I get the option to do it.
But you have to pay to activate it.
Yes.
Pay to trigger it. Because it's not an activated ability. Or is that?
That's an activated. It's a mana ability. Mana active ability. Because I get the option. It doesn't just trigger automatically.
I have good cards in my hand, but I don't know how long I want to let this go.
Yeah,
How
on
many
the
cards
5
do you
lie.
have?
I got 1 card in my hand. And
Yeah, but that could be a 6-point swing, though. We'll attack in.
this guy's trample. I'm gonna go ahead and block him.
Just the trample? So you take 4 total?
Maybe I should block this guy too. I'll just block him.
You declared blockers.
Oh yeah, I did. I'll take 4.
So when a trample dies?
So 1. This guy dies. And he
Doesn't do anything. 'Cause that was-
triggers into a spirit.
So wait, so does that do the thing?
No, because I don't activate it. It's triggered ability. I have to actually physically
That isn't a mana ability.
I-
Anything that's not a mana ability.
activates an ability.
That isn't mana. It's saying only mana you can trigger. All others will hurt you. It says activates an ability that isn't mana. And you just told me that this one's mana.
Yeah. That's
So all others would hurt you. Anything that you're not paying for.
I guess, although I thought it was not an activated ability, it's a triggered ability.
But it says any activates an ability. It doesn't say it's an activated ability. It says activates an ability. Either triggered or
We may
activated.
need to look up the ability, the triggered and activated, but I'll take it.
No, don't take it. Don't take it.
Yeah.
I've got you down to 1 life.
Yeah.
We'll just say, if our misunderstanding is right, I would have won here. Because that thing went off.
Yeah.
We'll keep playing though. I want to understand this. I can't.
Well, we can't understand it unless we look up the ruling.
Okay,
But
well we'll look it up when we're done playing, but let's just play. It's your turn. I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay, well here's why I said that, is because he has a 1 point. You weren't going to play anything? Because he's going to deal you 1 damage
Well,
on
I'm
my
gonna
upkeep.
play another island or another mana.
Oh, is that all you had? You just drew.
That's all I had.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, there, I won. Legit. He deals you 1 damage. Okay. So that was our first game of the second, or first match of the second game. First game of the second match. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult. I really, I'm not trying to be difficult, right?
I know.
I don't understand. Because it didn't say whenever a player has activates an ability. It said activates an ability that isn't mana. So that's anything that isn't mana related. So that's activated or triggered, in my mind.
I always took it as a triggered ability, just triggered, and any activating abilities you have to physically do.
Right, but my card specifically said anything that isn't a mana ability.
Yeah, but it doesn't say triggered ability either. It just says activated ability.
Activates an ability. It didn't say activated ability.
Well, see, I didn't activate it. It triggered from the static ability that's on it. But you're probably right.
Man, the semantics of this game are really messing with my head. It shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't.
Because you think everything's an activated ability.
I understand in principle what you're explaining is the difference. A mana ability, you must pay mana to do something. Triggered, something happens and lets you do something. Activated means you have to do something, like sacrifice a creature, and then do something. But to me, the way that card read is only mana abilities were excluded. I'm going first again.
Probably is right then.
And then every other kind of ability Oh, interesting.
I was probably right. You probably got it right.
Okay, so this enters the battlefield tapped. Done.
I'll play that tapped. Be done.
Untap, upkeep, draw. This enters tapped, and when it does, I have to return a land. Done.
I'll enter this tap, return land.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play mana for the turn, which this enters tapped, and then I'm going to pay red-green for her, and when she enters I get red-green, so I will play him.
Alright, I'm going to play a swamp, and I will tap that for white-black and one colorless. Play Teysa Orzhov Scion. Ooh, sacrifice 3 white creatures, I get to exile target creature. And whenever another black creature I control dies, I get to create a spirit. And she's a 2/3. And I'll be done.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw. This enters the battlefield tapped.
Oops, I'm gonna screw my life back off on twin.
Oh, cool. Interesting. I will pay 2 mana here to get that. And then what? This one. I want an attack. This is what I paid to get that. And what does she do?
I sacrifice 3 white creatures, I get to exile target creature, and if another black creature dies, I get to make a spirit.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tap this to pay for this, so I get a red-green. I'm gonna choose creatures without flying can't block this turn, so she doesn't have flying. So I'm going for 4. And then here's what I was laughing at. It says gain control of all permanents I own. So is that, how's that work? Like if you've taken something from me, I can pull it back? Okay. Interesting. That's why I was laughing. I was like, what?
Okay, I'm gonna play planes. I'm gonna tap 4. Let me see here. I'm gonna do white and 3 others to play Smothering Tithe. And a white enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2 mana. If the player doesn't, I get to create a colorless treasure artifact token.
Whenever I do a what?
Whenever you draw, you have to pay 2 mana or I get a treasure.
Okay. Untap. Give me 2 seconds to sort my mana. So these both tap for 2. This one I have to pay for though. And these are both either or. So there's untap and then upkeep.
You draw your card.
I haven't drawn yet Because as soon as I draw, your thing triggers, and I want to make sure I know if I'm paying or not. So you hold on. I said untap, and I haven't drawn yet.
I just want to make sure I heard that right.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tap, and you get nothing.
So you're gonna pay 2 mana?
I paid my 2 mana. It's right there.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna play mana for the turn. And then I'm gonna decide what to do. Okay. So
Got to pay your debt.
I get 1, 2. I'm gonna tap here, tap my mountain to get red-green, trigger him. Target creature can't block this turn, so I pay 1 red and 1 other, tap him, target creature can't block. Then I'm gonna go in for 2. And then I'm gonna pay a red and a green here to get Bloodthirst 2. If an opponent was dealt damage this turn, this creature enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it.
And you're done.
I'm done. That was a lot of work, dude. You made it really tight, and I didn't know if I was going to draw mana.
I'm going to play black, and I'm going to tap it for 2 black and 2 white to play Ghost Cancel of Orzhov. And when it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life and I gain a life. And I can pay 1, sacrifice.
Wait, did you go all the way back up to 15? I've done you a lot more damage than that.
Or was it 14? You did 6 with those 2.
1, 2.
And then you just did the 2.
So I attacked.
You attacked with one of those guys, you tapped the other one to make her unblocked.
Right.
So
The first time I did 4 and then 5, 6. That's all I've done?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I did a lot more damage than that.
No. And I could sacrifice, pay 1, sacrifice a creature, exile him, and turn him to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So I can do that at any time. And he does the same thing. Deals you 1 damage, gains me a life. And done. Can't do anything else. He's 4/4, by the way.
Okay. Untap. Haven't drawn yet. Okay, so untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna have to let you.
I get to have a token. There it is.
Okay. Because I needed my 2. So here's red green, pay for the signet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 others for Rubble Hulk, who his power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands I control. So I control 4 because this is an artifact. So he's a 4/4. And he has Blood Rush. I can pay 1, a red and a green, discard him, and target attacking creature gets plus XX until end of turn. But I didn't discard him. I wanted him. I wanted him.
Oh, I just dropped over.
Two, 3, no abilities. Like that matter in combat. 4/4, no abilities that matter in combat.
No.
But a pay 1 sack something?
Yeah.
And it does something?
I get to exile him, and then he comes back to the battlefield at the next end step, and you lose life, I gain life.
Okay, I'll hold.
Okay, draw anything worth a damn? No. Play this tapped. Return this to my hand. And I'm just gonna play that. Play an Orzhov charm. And I'm gonna destroy target creature. And then lose life equals to its toughness. And then I will be done.
Take your stupid token.
A treasure token? Oh, man, I only had one treasure token in here. This is gonna be a treasure token.
Okay, that works. I'm gonna pay.
Not like they do very good. Only you can see what I've got.
One, two, three, four. Trample, haste, shroud. And then
Dang that shroud.
I'm such an idiot. Okay, well, damn it. Damn it, 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 damn it. I'm done. I missed a play. Why does that shroud matter? You don't want to hurt my spider, do you? Or actually, oh, it's not even a spider. Okay, the artwork on there totally looks like a spider, but it's the creature type is insect.
Looks like a spider to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna play the...
Oh, that's funny. The flavor text, we respect all life forms, but this one we respect from a distance.
Play my island, or my plains, and I'm gonna do 2 black. And 2 others to play Ning Banshee. And when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets -2 until end of turn. And I'll be done.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep, draw. Get your stupid token.
Another token.
I'm in a full swing.
That's 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna definitely block here. And I'm gonna go ahead and pay. Oh shit, I can't do that right now because I'm declaring blockers now. Shouldn't have done that before. Got 11 live. I'm pretty sure you got a nice little punch spell for these guys, otherwise you wouldn't be coming at them. Need full force, trying to bait me into.
I'm not trying to bait you.
That's what I'll block with those guys.
That's all you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna pay. You're right. I do have a pump spell. I'm gonna pay to activate this. So I've got red, green. So that's 1 red and 1 other, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. Flames of Razebore. It's an instant. Deals 4 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Then it deals 2 damage to each other creature that player controls if I control a creature with power 4 or greater. So that thing's the only thing that's going to survive. This thing goes away. It's still blocked, but mine has trample.
I'm going to go ahead and pay 1, sacrifice this. This will be exiled.
Okay.
And since I blew up that creature, I get a spirit token from her. She's going to die anyway.
No, because it won't be out until after that resolves. Because that... How does that work? So this goes on the stack,
okay,
and then you're putting yours on the stack.
So then I paid to blow this guy up.
So it's up next. So it's going to resolve before mine does.
Yeah, it'll resolve first, so the spirit will be down. It will die. Mm-hmm. That guy's still blocked.
But 2 gets across.
No,
because he has trample.
Yeah. So, see.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're down to 4.
Dead. And then.
That's it. I'm tapped.
Step, he comes back.
On my end step.
It says on the next end step.
Okay. I lose a life. You gain a life. You don't have to pay to do him.
Oh no! Hold on. It's at my end step.
So I'm still at 19.
No, that's not good. Play that.
Why'd you laugh? That was the most creepy laugh, by the way. You know that was the most creepy laugh. What have you got planned over there? I don't think I like what
because us bankers are totally greedy over here at the Orzhov. We like to do things on our own term.
I see that.
And I'm gonna die anyways.
What? So you're gonna kill yourself with whatever spell you're casting?
Play that, and as an additional cast to cost a spell, I pay 5 life.
Oh shit! So you just blew yourself up. All right. So our head-to-head match went head-to-head. You won the first match with 2 games, and I won the second match with 2 games. We'll have to have a draw or a tiebreaker on these decks eventually, because those were fun. And I think if we had got them, because the first game of this match, you kind of drew dead a little bit, it felt like, against some of my bigger creatures.
I was wrong about that. I had 4 mana still in my hand right there. And
oh, shoot. So if we could get these decks to really go off against each other, it'd be an interesting matchup for sure. Because there's some really fun spells. And off camera, we will investigate a little bit more about the triggered versus activated versus mana abilities so that y'all don't have to be in on every single discussion point because I'm an idiot. But it was great fun to be back playing again. I'm super excited.
It was a lot of fun.
Our plan is to go back into weekly videos with Magic. So Wish us luck.
Yeah.